Okay, everyone, and welcome to another amazing episode of Disney Hot Topic. We have a really great one planned for you today. We're going to talk about merchandise in and outside of the parks. We're going to talk about things we like, things we've bought, things we wish we bought, stuff like that. So we're going to introduce ourselves, and then we'll jump right in. I'm Jackson. I'm Disneyland Man's Instapix.
I'm Dean, Dean's Parks and Vibes. Get it right.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm roped up ready on all socials.
I'm Joe with the Years, and that's everywhere you can find me.
Hi, I'm Sara. I'm the Main Street Adventurer, and I'm on Instagram and TikTok.
Hi, I'm Laszlo. I'm one half of the Foolish Mortals. Hannah's sending her apologies. She's somewhere in between Tenerife and Liverpool at the moment. And we are Disney Foolish Mortals on all socials.
Hi, I'm Eddie. I'm second star to the right on Instagram and TikTok.
Perfect. It's great to know everybody. We're so glad that we're seeing some new faces today. We're so glad to have Sara and Eddie with us, and Laszlo again, of course. Olivia and Joe and Dean. We're so glad everyone's here. So thanks for being here. Thanks for making time. But we're just going to start right in with our question to kind of open it up. And this question is, what is your favorite piece of merchandise that you've bought at the parks? This could be something that you bought a long time ago, something new. And I'm going to say that we should be strict about in park. That's going to be the only clarifying part of this. What have you bought in the gates, within the berm, so to speak?
I'm checking now.
Great. Yeah. Now you're looking, huh?
I have mine ready because it's quite.
Okay, Sara, go for it.
So this is my favourite piece of merch. It is.
Put it up.
Oh, that's
Be
stunning.
careful
It's
now.
beautiful.
Castle, and it is my pride and joy. I do have two of these because this one's actually the original one that I have. Because unfortunately it did suffer a fall, this first one that I bought at the Disneyland Hotel, but I'm so attached with it because of the memory. I bought this whilst I was staying at the Disneyland Hotel, so I stayed at Castle Club for my 30th birthday. And essentially at that point, I was like in love with the clock. It was very hard to get that summer. People were like literally trying to get into the boutique to spot it, to try and find it. And unfortunately was sold out for quite a while. So I was fortunate enough that Castle Club, I rang up and they essentially said that they could save me one. So when we actually got in the room, it was there. And it's one of those memories that I think I'm going to treasure forever because it's a once in a lifetime thing to do. So that's why it's kind of my favourite piece of merch, and it's park exclusive as well.
Easy.
Beautiful.
I'll go next. I've got something in my hand. It's not my most favorite. I'm gonna be honest. It's hard to pick. I'm a big pin guy. You know, I love pins. Pins are my thing. But one of my favorite pins that I bought, which was inside the parks, is a limited edition Free Caballeros.
Oh, love it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know where it's limited to. It's limited release, not limited edition. Limited release. But yeah, it's one of my favorite pins. It's so cool. I love Grand Fiesta Tour. I think it's a fantastic ride, and yeah, that's one of my favorite pins I have part of my collection.
Love it.
I can go next. I was telling Dean that because I'm a poor college student, a lot of my stuff is at my parents' house, so I don't have a lot of my favorite things. But I've shown this before. But one of my favorite things that I bought is this Star Tours shuttle.
So
I
cool.
just think this is
I
the
have
coolest
that.
thing. It's die
Yeah.
cast. It's a hefty guy. And I also bought its baby brother just because I like that there's two, and I
You need
like that
you
there's
need
a
the
little
big brother now.
Yeah,
Have-
I know. I need
Yeah,
the big
I
$400
have
one.
that.
But I just think
R2D2
Star
that makes
Tours.
noises.
It even has the bits of the film from the ride in
Yeah.
it too. Like it does the effects. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I just really like this. I like Star Tours. It's a really neat ride. I've always loved it since I was a kid. So this is proudly on my desk next to a bunch of other little die-cast collectibles. But that makes me happy.
Nice. So mine would have to be
Oh, the
Oh.
bucket.
The
It's
Grail.
the bucket.
Bucket, yeah.
He's
The
not
bucket.
Epcot. It was sold out at Epcot, so I got it from Shanghai Disney. Then I had to bring it back I got my friend Louise to bring it back in her luggage because I didn't have room. But yeah, all the way back from Shanghai.
Wow.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
realise he was such a chonky boy.
Yeah. I have the big feet plush version
Oh, yes.
with my little figment grail.
You'll be able to
I don't know what is my favourite. This is the problem. I love all of it. I probably would say the Sleeping Beauty Castle. I'll have to move you guys to actually show you because I am not picking it up.
Oh man, I'm excited. Oh wow, look at that.
I think I have that too.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Stunner.
Love
that
it.
was a big purchase last trip. I'm moving over now. But yeah, I have lots of lovely memories of all different pieces of merch. Some of them I haven't bought in the park. I've found them after wanting them so long, but it would have to be that.
Love that. Yeah, so I'm the same. I'm surrounded by plush at the moment, around behind me here. But my actual favourite is in Liverpool, where I actually live. So I'm at my parents' house now. But it is Pluto that I had from a child, and it's little plush Pluto. He is literally from the start been my favourite. As you can see, there's a massive one behind me actually right now, but this one is tiny, so it's probably my favourite. But as an adult, probably leaning towards more jerseys, which is surprisingly I don't have one on right now. But yeah, that's what I'll go for now.
My favorite thing from the parks is that we are obsessed with statues that you can find in the parks, especially statues that include like partner statue, on all sorts of shape and form. But my favorite one that we got in Epcot actually is the statue of Walt sitting there. We had a photo. First day of our trip was in Epcot last year, and that was my first time in Epcot or in Walt Disney World. And we had some photos taken with the statue, and I was like, oh, it would be so cool if they had this statue for sale on a miniature scale. And we went to the first gift shop, and they had it. So I think that was probably the first purchase that we made there, and this is my favorite one.
Don't know.
It's such a
I have
good
an even
piece.
miniature version as I have it as a Christmas ornament.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, everything with Walt we absolutely love. Partner statue, pins as well. It's really nice that they've been recently releasing pins that include Walt or the partner statue, so it's great. The one thing that we really, really want to get, but they don't sell them anymore, is in Hong Kong, they've got a different version of the partner. They don't have a partner statue, but they've got another one, a bench, which is called Dream Makers, and it's Walt sitting on a bench with Mickey Mouse, and he's pointing kind of towards the future, and it's right in front of the carousel. And they used to sell it in the parks, and they don't do it anymore. So that was my big heartache when we were there, that we couldn't get it. The only version we could find was a solid gold one or a gold plated one, but that was, I think, around £120,000. So that didn't come home with us.
It's a little expensive, don't get me wrong. I can
Slightly
see why you
over
didn't go
budget.
for it.
So now that we've kind of talked about all our favorite things that we've got in the park, I wanna throw two questions at people. One is that thing that you bought in the park more special to you than it would be if you'd bought it just online? And second, like, what is something that is special to you despite not being from the park, but it's like about the park? You know, you have Disney merchandise that's cool that you got online that makes you happy, but like for me, I love getting stuff at the place it's from, because then I look at it and my brain's like, oh, I know exactly where that's from, and I know, like, I can smell Star Tours every time. I can see that like rubbery floor when I look at this at my Star Speeder, you know. And so I'd like to throw those two questions out there, like, what's your non-park merch, and do you like one more than the other, you know?
Oh, I think I can go for this one. In the background, you may be able to see where's my hand going. Here we go. There's a little vintage Mickey Mouse right there in a mug, and I had that recently. This is a Christmas gift off of my girlfriend, and I love it so much. And I think it's so. I'm gonna grab it. 2 seconds. I think it's so special. Pegasus, no.
Oh,
I'm gonna grab mine now.
Really like vintage Mickey, and it's so sweet. I love it so much. And it's from Disneyland.
That's
which is really
so
cool.
cute.
very nice.
And I love it so much. And yeah, this is really cool, really special.
For us, it's always very special when we buy something in the parks, and we've got a kind of like, I would say, soft rule is that whenever we buy merch, we have to earn it. So, for example, if we see a ride pin, we're not going to get the ride pin until we've actually been on the ride. There's some sort of exclusions sometimes because you see things that are like, oh no, I just need that. But one of the things that actually I just got it yesterday from Hannah. The other thing that I'm obsessed with is Disney trash cans. I love Disney trash cans. I have to go around the parks and I have to check all of them. And in Hong Kong, they've got a talking trash can called Push. And she's wandering around the park and we had really, really great interactions. And of course, the moment that we left Hong Kong, they released a special edition of the Push trash can.
So cute.
And it's not something that we got in the park, but it is from the park. So I think this is something really special. Even
Have
though
you seen the new shoulder pads for the bins?
yes, I've seen this.
I squealed so hard when I saw that.
We might talk about it later because I've already got a few people who said that they want it, and I need to get something from Hong Kong anyway, so we can join forces. So anyone needs the Hong Kong Push shoulder sitter, let me know, and then we can just order it all together.
So, my piece of merch that I didn't get from the park, but I found it on Vinted because I am a Vinted fiend. I'm always on there. So this, I mean, you can tell I am the rat lover. And it's got Bistro Cher-Me. So I got this after I'd finally gone there and I was looking everywhere for it. It's actually the plate from the restaurant. But yeah, this is my favourite piece of merch that isn't something I got from the parks, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
done.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, so I'd say why it wasn't from the parks because it was gifted. It was obviously a gift for myself, but I was a snow globe fan. So Disney snow globes, and I did think they sell it at the park at one point, but it was the Peter Pan ship, the Jolly Roger, and it had them all on there, and it is up here, but it is probably covered in dust. I am embarrassed to show you guys. I've just come back. I had to come back to my boat. I'm like, oh my god! I was like, I'm going to show you this. I'm like, oh no, you'd be seeing like a load of dust. It won't be pixie dust. It just flying everywhere. But it is beautiful, and obviously, like Peter Pan flies. Like when you twist it, the music comes on. Second star to the right, and Peter Pan just goes around the whole snow globe. It is beautiful. And that, yeah, I would say that's probably my out of park favourite merch that I've got.
You'll have to send us a picture later.
No, I will,
Definitely.
of course.
That's
I feel
so
bad not even
sweet.
getting down. Yeah, it's beautiful.
This is one of my favourite purchases because it's outside the park, but technically I did get it from Disney Store, and it is the one and only King Donald, the Japan Store version. I absolutely just fell in love with him. As soon as I saw him on Disney Store, I was like, this is the plush for me, because of the fact that he stands up as well. So he stands up really proud on my windowsill. So when I'm working, I usually get quite a lot of comments at work about the fact that I've just randomly got a King Donald duck in the background. And he's just my favourite. Like, even though I've not been to Japan yet, I absolutely adore a lot of their plushes. So the fact that they are available on Disney Store on drops is a huge thing for me. So he's my favourite.
I think King Donald was one of the best plush releases last year. We have him as well, and he's so sassy when you move him around and his cape is like kind of flying. It's just so Donald.
It is. So cute.
So for mine, a few years ago, Shop Disney did the Castle Collection, and I just think they were really special. The only problem was because they were coming out during COVID, they were just flying off, so it was like murder trying to get hold of them. I missed out on 2 of them, but I managed to get all the others. But I don't know why they don't continue the range, but maybe with like park attractions. I mean, imagine Tower of Terror, Spaceship Earth in like miniatures over a year. It would just sell out. But yeah,
I would buy every single Tower of Terror miniature I could get my hand. I would have the duplicates upon. I would die for that. That would be so cool.
What you just said, it's what we call the Disney Store Hunger Games. Especially recently that they started doing this virtual queue system on pin release days.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Absolute nonsense. Don't get me started.
I think something that I bought outside of the park, if you can see it, is this. I don't know if you guys have seen this book before, but it opens up and both ways, and then it's got all like the park maps, but it does like close-ups and it does concept art, and it's all across the world. So in the back, you get into other parks and stuff, and this is like Tom Sawyer's Island art and stuff, and I just think it's so neat.
Yeah.
Like, I rarely look at it, but I look at it on my shelf every day, and it makes me really happy that I own it. Just because I think about all the cool concept art, and I don't know, I'm a big like concept art, like reimagining kind of thing, and so like kind of guy, and so this just tickles me to own. I just love it to death.
So cool. So cool.
I'm gonna try and find one of them online.
Yeah, me
for
too.
now.
Because that's stunning. I need one of those. I've got like the Oswald book that they did. With all.
Oh, whoa, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can see there. But it's all like some of the original sketches and things like that. It's a really cool book.
I do love art books. Like, they're my favorite.
Yeah.
Just because they're just so great to, like, in terms of the actual like stuff that they put in the art concept books as well, are just so interesting, because there's obviously a lot of like stuff you can watch on Disney Plus, but just having like a physical copy of them, I think feels just so special.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
So after this
now that
episode, who's going on Vinted?
All of us, I think. That's just a given.
Always on there.
Yeah.
It's my worst thing, like constantly on there, and then they say, "Oh, I'm not gonna get anything," and then it comes up on the first page like something that you love.
Yeah.
It knows what you like.
It does. It's vicious. Like, honestly, like, I'm always on it too, because I think my partner Neil, he's always like looking over and he's like, "Oh, Vinted again." Like, everything's saved as well in a certain order, and I have to go through like my saved searches in an order. I'm like really specific about finding stuff on Vinted.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, you get a notification that, the seller gave you an offer on this and that, and you're like, well...
Love a seller
And then
bargain.
when you don't get it and it sells,
Ooh.
The heartbreak.
Heartbreak.
yeah, and then I regret all of my choices. So like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I get it? Why didn't I send an offer? Just anything, and I just stick myself.
Now that we've kind of covered what we like and what our favorite things are, which is fun because it's like a dope show and tell. Here's a really interesting question that Dean kind of posed to me the other day. What's a piece of merchandise that you've seen that you don't like, or that you just like want stopped? Which I think is a really interesting thing to ask. Like, I think some people would say, much to the chagrin of Dean, which would be like popcorn buckets, because the lines get crazy long, like stuff like that. I think people get sick of. I don't think I'm sick of popcorn buckets, but stuff like that. So what's something that you've seen at the parks that you just, I don't know, you can't wrap your head around, or you just don't love, or something? And no shade, because we all like something different, obviously, but
you're gonna have to come to me at the end for this one, because I'm gonna have to steal an answer.
I'm
Because
really struggling.
I am lost on this.
I have one. I have a very specific one.
Okay.
It's generally around dated merch. I have an absolute ick for like the 2026 like t-shirts, especially in Disneyland Paris. Some of the colours that they use on them, they're always like really highlighty colours, and the colour palette was it really, I can't deal with it. I don't buy them myself. I know probably some people might really enjoy collecting like 2025, 2024 and so on. It's just something that just really gives me the ick every time I see it in the parks, and like, and it's always on the sale racks as well. So I'm just like, Disney, is it really worth it?
Not fans of dated merch either, with the exception of fridge magnets and pins.
Yes.
As you mentioned, Disneyland Paris. Yeah, every single year they come out with the exact same Phantasmic pin. They don't even have Phantasmic in Disneyland Paris, but every single year they have the exact same pin, just with the year being different on it. Nonetheless, because we are obsessed with Sorcerer Mickey, we get it every single year, but it's just funny. It's unnecessary, but it's kind of like it's become kind of like a joke. Like we just have to get that pin.
Dates on because it kind of reminds me of what year I've gone to the park. So I do have, some of the Christmas ornaments where you can get them personalised with the year.
Yeah.
I have some of those from when I went to Walt Disney World as a child, so it says like 2009 on it. So I kind of like that because it reminds me of what year I went. I understand with the t-shirts, but because also it's like when you're going to wear that t-shirt, you're only going to wear it in that year. So like my partner bought the 2024 Disneyland Paris one, and he's never worn it. It's just in the wardrobe because it's like when you're going to wear it, it says 2024 on it. It's now 2026. It's out of date now. It's a bit weird one with that, but I do get the pins and like the fridge magnets and stuff like that because I do kind of like it because it's like, oh, we went that year and it was great.
I don't know what they are called. You know these little shoes? These collectible
the
shoes.
lace
Oh,
Converses.
yeah.
I don't get it.
Don't like
What's
them.
the point in
No.
what's the point in collecting
I
all those
agree.
Converses? And it seems like no one's buying them, but they
I
just
forgot
keep coming out.
I forgot they existed. Yeah, they suck. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them. There we go. You've answered our question for us.
Yeah. There we go. Done. That's my answer.
Might be controversial as well.
Yeah,
but-
one of those.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. He said no judgment, no shame. It's fine.
No,
knew that
I
was
get
gonna
it.
offend
I
someone
get
with
it.
that.
I mean,
That's a
normal
Converse thing,
one,
yeah.
isn't it? It weren't one of the Disney ones, wasn't it?
No,
It was just a
it was
normal
just a Converse one, but
There we go. These
I
are
am
like little
guilty of owning.
designed ones, so it's fine.
Yeah,
That's
it
Yeah.
is different.
The new thing as well, the ears, well, I don't know what they're called. They look like hats. I don't think they're any good either. They're like vinyl hats. Like,
Oh, the
Oh,
vinyl
little mini
one.
ones, themes.
yeah, the little mini ear things. I don't like
I
those.
can't stand those.
I don't-
That's my
I don't-
thing.
I don't like them.
I can't.
I don't get them.
They look
I think they're
weird.
kinda cute,
I was just
though.
looking those up.
Yeah, I don't like them.
For me,
The other thing that I never got. Oh, sorry.
no, I was just going to say for me it would be Loungefly because they're not big enough, so they need to be bigger.
You got a point.
Because
You
then-
can get bigger lounge flies.
Yeah.
Be?
I've got one. Yeah.
They've got big ones now.
This is a Marvel Spider-Man Loungefly, and it fits 2 laptops in and everything that you want. So.
Okay.
And this is why when we do a
Nice.
Loungefly episode, we need Sarah on it because she has hundreds.
They're literally around this room. Like,
In her room, there's a lot.
Yeah, we got loads as well. Hannah really loves them in the park because it complements the outfit.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily that practical, but it really complements the outfit. What I found really good now, and I'm obsessed with them, is the log bags. Especially
Yeah.
since we started vlogging, it's perfect because it fits. So the entire vlogging kit fits everything with the spare batteries, phone, whatever you want in them, and you don't have to take them off on a ride. And I just found it now in Hong Kong that it's like, oh, my savior is lugs. I love
See,
them now.
I've got the Orange Bird lug. I got it for Christmas, but it's one of the water bottle ones. Because my problem with little shoulder bags and stuff is they're too small, and I always like to have a water with me at all times. So I saw this one, so we got it on Vinted for Christmas.
But
so I'm
now you
gonna
got the same camera, so just watch this. You try it out once, and
Yeah.
you'll find it that it's like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, I'm really excited to try it out.
What I wanted to say, by the way, is I don't want to offend anyone, and it's not about the movie whatsoever, but the Wish merch. Wish merch was when we were there in Walt Disney World it's now the year before last. The outlet store was inundated with Wish merchandise because no one seems to be buying it, but they're still coming out with it, and I'm just like, guys, no one's buying it. You tried it. You gave it a good attempt. There was some really cool merchandise. No one cares. Thank you, next. But no, instead they just coming out with even more. And they put the characters on the floats and all, and I'm just like, you're really trying hard with that, but it doesn't seem like it's working. It's time to give up on that, I think.
I feel so bad for it because it's like, I think it just wasn't marketed right.
Yeah,
Disney
I
100
loved it.
exclusive
I
film.
really enjoyed it.
It was
I
good when
love
I
the
saw
film.
it.
I think it's really good.
Yeah. It was just, I kind of agree with the merch there. I think they they probably did that whole thing of mass marketed a lot of merch prior to the actual film coming out. That then it was more of a when do we release this and how can we make it like quite a big thing? And I think a lot of it went more into parks than it did actually online. And I think they kind of tried to put that spin on it of a, oh, it's a park exclusive shoulder pal that you can get of the star, but most people don't recognize the star as an actual character unless you actually went to see it. So yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that specific film does have a lot of merch, unfortunately, still on shelves.
Yeah, I agree with Sarah. Something she said earlier is the 2026, 2025, like the yearly merch just isn't for me. Every time, like I want to get into it, but every time I just can't. And I just look at it and I'm like, oh, it's just so poorly designed, especially when it's on the shelf next to like a Loungefly, which is like a beautiful item. I'm just like, I can't with this. I'm sorry. Sorry, I just noticed Joe.
Yeah, I can't take you seriously now. Take it off.
Wait. Don't stay in front. Hang on, I'm stuck.
Maybe that wasn't a great idea.
Sorry, excuse me. I'm being silly.
By the way, I don't know who was the genius that come up with that idea, but I started seeing more and more in the park when people wear baseball cap and they put the shoulder sitter on top of it, like the magnet under the cap.
Yes.
And the shoulder sitter on top. And when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know who's come up with it, but give him a badge. Give them a badge. It's genius.
They've tried to do that with like bags, haven't they? Where they do like plushie or shoulder pal specific Loungefly bags, and I just don't think it's taken off as much as they would. Because like I'm actually quite a fan of putting my shoulder pals like just within my Loungefly, so they're just like peeking up. So it's like usually like I'll have Woody with a Woody Loungefly, and the Woody will be peeking out, but it's secure because obviously these kind of fall quite a lot when you're in the parks. So I do quite like the idea and see where they came from with that merch idea, but I just don't think it took off trying to have like a shoulder pal specific bag. And it's same, I'm not quite sure with the pin bags either. I wanted to get some pin fans' thoughts on the pin bags as well, because I don't know if people necessarily use them because
I like them, but I haven't got any yet. And I'm also scared that the pins will fall off.
That's what I was thinking. That would be my issue.
And that's why it's not, I've not like, because there's been some beautiful ones I saw. Did you see the one with Sleeping Beauty Castle? It's like a book. Yeah. But I was like, I can see my pins falling off.
And they do. It's not very secure. I mean, I've got the, which is two? I don't know. I've got the Mickey head pin bag thing. It's only a small little thing. But anything on the ears, they fall off. You know, it's not very secure.
Yeah, and even if you get those, because they sell those like walking pin backs at the parks that you use like a little wrench. But if you do that too many times, it ruins the pin. Like it bends the pin back. Like I used to do I had like those wide lanyard one, you know, like the wide, and I had my pins all over it, and I'd move them around every once in a while, and I started ruining the pins, and I was like, this isn't for me, so I stopped wearing them. Especially with a camera strap, it just doesn't work. You know, I had to choose. So.
Unfortunately, I just took a back seat.
I always have my little shoulder guy peeking up, or I like strap him in on something so that he just hangs out. Because I'm so scared. Like you put it on a backpack or something, he'll just fall right off. You know, even if I keep him closer to me or farther. Like I don't know. I'm just gonna lose him, and I'd be so sad if I lost Bird. You know, like I just can't handle it.
It's the same with those little plushies, you know, they've got like magnetic hands and you're supposed to put it around your back strap, but the magnets never really hold them. So what we do with them is that they usually come with the chain as well. So we loop it around and use the magnet. So even if the magnet gives in, at least like it's not going to fall down. But with the shoulder sitters, you don't really have any sort of safety mechanism in it. If they fall down, they fall down. I remember we're coming down but just after I got my car, and we were going down on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and I could feel him leaving my shoulder, and I was so upset because at this point I had this emotional connection with the shoulder sitter, having these like random conversations in the park as he's going off like And I'm just going like, yeah, I know it's really hot in there, isn't it? Like, car, car. And but luckily he was still in the boat. But this is when I was like, oh, shoulder sitters. As much as I love them, I don't really like wearing them in the park because I'm conscious about it all the time that
Yeah,
I'm
me
just going to
too.
lose them, and then there's going to be heartbreak and misery.
Yeah, you hear it at the end of the day, don't you? Though everybody's like upset about losing it. You just every time going back to your hotel, all the time, shoulder paddles just missing.
The magic bands
So-
as well, they don't stay on.
Yeah, but Disney have started
They're
selling
not.
clasps for them. Have
Really?
you seen that? Yeah, they've started selling clasps. You can get them on Etsy, which are like 15 quid cheaper. Don't get me wrong, but you can now buy official Disney latches to keep your bands on. But yeah, they're a pain. They are a pain. They do fall off. They're not the most secure thing.
Yeah. I bought like a magic band. That's the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary edition one, which has the partner statue on it and it lights up.
Yeah.
And I was consistently afraid in Walt Disney World that it was just going to pop off like on a
Oh
ride.
no.
And it's like limited edition versions of those that you know that you can't actually replace as much. Like the solid colour ones, you can kind of replace those at any point. But the limited edition ones, it's like I was just fearing for my life with it whenever I had one. But they are gorgeous, some of the designs that they do.
I'm gonna have to
Interesting
get one.
because
I've been waiting so long to get one, so I'm just gonna have to do it.
it's
I
so like
actually-
back and forth. Some people love it, some people hate it. I find the magic bands just amazing because it just makes everything for us. It made everything so much easier. But the interesting thing, what I wanted to mention, is that loads of people come up with kind of like smart ideas on how to make Disney products better, and they start selling them on Etsy, and then Disney clocks on and they're like, oh, that's a good idea, we're going to need to do that as well, because especially with the magic bands, they are not cheap, and if the limited edition ones especially, it's really hard to replace them. So you would expect to pay a set amount. Like, I don't know what is the going rate now of the new magic. I think it's around $45. You would imagine having something that is actually tested by a cast member or a product executive, a product manager who's been in the parks, and they would actually figure out that, okay, this is a good idea, but this is how we should make it better. So it really, they should come out with products that are tried and tested by the people and say like, right, this is a product for you and this is safe and secure, you're not going to lose it because we tried it, we figured out that this is the problem with them, but we made it better. And I think Disney could improve on that a little bit more. They started doing it now because I think they haven't looked at Etsy and they're like, okay, it would be interesting for us to do, but I think they could be a little bit more proactive with that.
That's one thing that I can't wrap my head around, probably just because I don't have a ton of money, but I can't imagine collecting magic bands just like Loungeflies because I really like them and I think they're amazing. Like, some of the designs of the magic bands are gorgeous, but I buy one and I'm like, okay, I did it. But maybe that's just because I'm not a good Disney fan. Like, maybe that's my fault. But I had my magic band last time on my Disney World trip and it made it all the way to the end. And it was like the last 3 hours of our last day. And I stuck my hand through a fence for a minute and I pulled it back. And I was on Tonsori's Island and my magic band just popped off and I just heard it go boop into the river. And I was like, well, it's the last day, so okay. So when they dredged that river, they found it. My magic band, and probably 10,000 other ones, but yeah.
That's so
It happens.
heartbreaking.
I know, it was so sad. It was like 6 years old, and I pulled it, and it just popped off, and it was gone. It was just in the murky. I didn't even see it sink down. You know, it's such dark water. It was just gone. It was so sad.
Do you think they'll ever like replace magic bands as like a technology in the park? Because that's something I've kind of wondered, whether they'll phase them out and come out with something completely new. Because especially with like World of Frozen opening, they're going to be doing like their own kind of version of like smart technology with the little I can't remember what they call them out of the Frozen films, but
The trolls.
the little stone trolls. They're doing like an
Yeah,
animated
Runa.
Yeah, they did like a toy version, which basically is interactive, where you walk around Arendelle in World of Frozen and it'll interact with the land, which I think is quite a cool idea for Disneyland Paris, because I'm not quite sure whether the Magic Band system would kind of work in that park. So I'm
Yeah.
quite excited to see how that goes. But it'd be interesting if they do ever kind of replace Magic Bands like within like Orlando as well with something like
Yeah.
that.
I think if they ever did something like that, it would end up being something they could still sell to you. Because I think Magic Bands are just so lucrative. Like, they can
Yeah.
sell all the designs and all the little add-ons and stuff. So I think it would be something like Frozen World, where they have Frozen Land, where they have like the little guys you carry around. I know they did do something similar. There's like an addition thing you can get for web slingers in California Adventure,
Yeah,
where you
had
can
in
buy
Paris, yeah.
an extra, and in Paris you can do it's an extra thing you wear or something. It looks quite ridiculous. I don't think I'd like one, but some people like to. I don't know.
But they have the technology for that because it's very similar. Like the droids that you can build in Droid Factory, they can interact with each other as well. So I think the question is, what's going to be the next probably for the Magic Bands, because they've got the technology to interact with objects in the park. I think the next step is probably going to be, in one way or another, how these could interact with each other and what kind of product that they could build around it. Because if you look at Uber as well, for a long period of time, you could book a taxi on that and that was it. But now you can do ride shares with it. You can wait for 10 minutes and see like if anyone is taking the same route as you, and then you can share a ride. So I think the next step would potentially be on how they could build a product around the interactivity of these Magic Bands. That would be interesting to see, actually.
I agree, and I've noticed this too. Have you seen people who put their Magic Band in a keychain and then keep it on their backpack? I think that's brilliant. I think that's really smart, because I've never found Magic Bands comfortable, but I think the keychain's a great idea. So maybe, I don't know, but I like your idea, Laszlo, where you're saying like they could make this technology something that, because we've watched it go from just ticketing in hotels to now you interact with things on attractions, like when you ride Haunted Mansion and it glows red, right, for the ride. There's really neat things like that, and I'm interested to see if maybe you can start saying like, oh, like I don't know if anyone had this, but on my 3DS I could do like Street Pass, and you could see like where everyone is from and like meet people and get like their interests. And I wonder if it'll start being more social like that, like you're saying, Laszlo, where you could like meet people and connect with them and be like, oh, Tower of Terror group's going at this time, let's all go together or something. I don't know.
Or like a bounding photo shoot. Like if you could register yourself, you're a Disney bounder, and we are wearing today, I don't know, a Tower of Terror outfit. I was just thinking about that because Olivia's got a really cool Tower of Terror.
I was thinking about hers too. It's so cool.
And imagine something like that. That is, you walk around in the parks and it would beep on both of you if if you have the same kind of plan for the same day or something like that, like kind of community aspect. It could potentially work, but obviously there going to be challenges because unfortunately not every single person are good people in the parks. So I suppose that the danger in that is that it could potentially be misused as well.
I could also see that going in a really neat way. Like you could. Like, I think I've seen this on Everest, where if you're in line long enough and you're not moving fast enough, there's posters that will change to include your name if you're wearing the right Magic Band and you see it at the right time. It'll be like, oh, like, welcome Graham Family Expedition, or like, Jackson, like, your train's here or whatever. And it's really fascinating. And I think they could do more with that, where like you walk into certain stores and if you go in enough times, they're like, oh, welcome back, Jackson. Like, here to buy more pins, right? You know, like stuff like that. You know, like they could have called you out.
That's such a cool idea. I mean, that really puts a family into the story, then, you know, and it makes it so much more immersive in, you know, whichever world they sort of go into. I mean, we've got the bounty hunting in Galaxy's Edge, which is really cool with the Magic Bands. That's a lot of fun. So I think being able to immerse yourself in a different way. Everest, I didn't know that they did that. That's such a cool idea. But yeah, that would be.
They did it many years ago, and I've noticed that they do it occasionally. Maybe it's an on and off kind of effect. Disney's kind of good at those.
That would be amazing if they brought that to like more attractions, more areas, it would be so much more, it just immerses you more, and that's what it's all about, is losing yourself in the world you're portrayed to be in.
It kind of reminds me of the movie Minority Report. I think it was in that one when people were going into the shops and then the experience that they had in the shop was personalized for everyone. And it was just so strange, but you can see even nowadays like how digital technology is getting more and more incorporated into the shops. Like, sometimes you don't even see proper shop windows with mannequins. It's so digital, and then you just feel like you stepped into the future. And probably they are routes that Disney can actually take in the parks to kind of improve the visitor experience, or just do cool kind of gimmicky stuff, because it's all like at the moment, because the technology is obviously not that advanced, it's kind of like gimmicky, but we all love gimmicky things. Everyone
Yeah.
loves like a bit of a strange thing. Like the amount of times that we got a Loungefly and we only figured out after that they either glow in the dark, or make a noise or whatever, or they light up, and you're just like, oh, it's gimmicky, it's great. Or even with the shoulder pals, like with the gargoyle. Now I can't find it.
There it
Yeah,
is. There
it
it is.
lights up for a few seconds. You press a button, and it doesn't add any too much to it, because it's not going to increase the vibe. But it's gimmicky stuff, and you love it. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it lights up.
Yeah.
Your eyes during that, while you said that, was exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
But I think too, like, so as we look to the future of what we think merchandise could be and where it's going, what's something that everyone's looking forward to? And as a side question of that, hi, what do you think they should start offering? We mentioned earlier the Tower of Terror, like or like attraction, the little replicas. I would pay humongous amounts of money for those. Like that would just be right up my alley. I
Don't
wish they'd
say
start
that.
selling more of those.
Do
I will
it.
do it. I will do it. Give it. But what's something you're excited for coming up this year or in the future? And then what's something you kind of wish they would start selling in the future?
I think for me, I'm a Lego collector, so I am really excited about this smart brick stuff that literally just got announced like I think a week ago
Yeah.
from Lego, and their first initial sets that they're going to do the smart brick in is Star Wars. So I think that's going to be a huge trend going forward, is that we're going to see a lot more kind of Disney collaboration, Marvel, Star Wars kind of type Lego sets, and I think they're going to sell really well because of the fact of the interactivity aspect of that smart brick is amazing, because what they're essentially doing is that one smart brick or that minifig that is smart will be able to kind of interact. You'll be able to interact with it in an immersive world, and you'll be able to kind of build situations with the characters, and they'll be able to speak and talk, and there'll be sounds. And I think that's it was something that I thought, really, I don't know why they've waited this long to do that from a
Yeah.
Lego perspective, because to me it was like looking into the future of it. It makes so much sense, and for it to be Star Wars for the first initial release, I think is going to be brilliant, because the first couple of sets are like the X-wing, the A-wing, the throne room. I think they're such cool sets to have this in, that I can't wait to kind of get my hands on one, to kind of look at it and see like how I can interact with it as just like a Lego enthusiast. I think that's just such a cool thing that I'm really excited for.
As a
Uh,
side note, can someone explain to me what the smart bricks do? I obviously saw the announcement, but like what's their features?
So essentially, the smart brick is a interactive brick that you will be able to have into your set. So it'll plug into your actual set that you buy it with, and it will have sounds. So it will trigger sounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So movement is
Okay.
a trigger as
Uh-huh.
well. And also as well, they have minifigures that are also smart linked.
I
So
see.
those minifig characters in situations will have sounds that come from them, and there'll be lights as well. So it's to kind
Wow.
of impact that experience of building
Mhm.
yeah.
Lego and playing with it and creating universes with Lego. So I think it's going to be a massive thing going forward, especially in more children's sets as well. I think it'll be a massive sell for a lot of people, because, I know when I was a kid with Lego, I just used to build random stuff. random universes all the time. So I think that interactivity of that smart brick will really enhance that experience.
Thank you. That's actually really cool. I can totally see that just taken off. And I do like your question. Why did they wait so long? Like that seems like pretty simple stuff to incorporate. But anyway, someone else could take the floor now.
It's exciting. I'm a pin guy, like I said in the start, and I always look forward to the year's releases, and I see a lot from like D23 and the pins events that come up. So I know there's a lot of exciting things coming up for the year in terms of like artist collection pins. They're always great. And there's just so many cool limited sets. The Adobe sets, which are always fun. We've recently had the Fantasia release of those, and they're amazing. So yeah, look, going forward is always pins for me. I know this year we've got a pretty cool 100-year celebration, which is Winnie the Pooh. You see it everywhere now. You see it in Primark and Disney Store and wherever else has the rights to use Winnie the Pooh. You've seen it everywhere, and some of the merch I'm seeing from this is so lush, and I can't wait to see what else more comes out over the year for this collection.
Yeah, we're getting like a monthly release on Disney Store. So I'm excited to see what those are, because they've only kind of shown like the illustrations. They've not shown like what it's going to be. All I can see so far is a Spirit jersey. But I'm wondering whether we're going to get like a pin or a plush each month as well. But I really like the illustration style for this, so I'm really excited for it. And with all the florals and stuff, it's super cute.
Let the Hunger Game begins.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
I wanted to say, Joe, that you mentioned the artist collection pins. What is really cool about them, it's ever so slightly off topic, but the designers now, they are fans and collectors themselves, so they're actually looking into how could we improve the pins even more.
Yeah.
And it was especially the last set that was designed by Jess Willis. She's one of the senior managers there at the pin department, or whatever you call them at Disney, and she was in London last year at the pin event that was very unsuccessful for both Olivia and us. We went down to it. It was absolute carnage, and we never even got it. But Jess was there, and she came out to talk to people. She was really, really nice, and she's done something very, very unique and new in her set, and I think it's going to be down here. Just give me 1 second. So it's not open because it's not mine. I got it for one of our friends. But what she said is that I really like pins that open out, but it's really, really annoying to display them because they take up a lot of space. However, if you close them, then you don't see the design. So what she's done is now, instead of having like a kind of hinge on it, it's magnetic. So the kind of window thing is magnetically clasping onto the pin, so you can remove it, and it's designed in a way, and it would have been easier if I could show you, but I have no idea where I put the actual my pin, is that you can put the magnetic part, the window, behind the pin itself, because it's designed, the little holes are designed in a way that the peg is going to come through them, so you can display it in a way that it's still there, but it's not there, it's not taking up space, and you can still show the design. Or if you decide to have it on, it just magnetically clasps on the front. It's not the best magnet, but the idea behind it is really cool, and it's kind of like shows that the people are who are designing these, they are collectors themselves, and they're actually thinking about how could we improve the pin experience for others. And I think that is really cool, and I hope that we'll see more of these kind of pin inventions in the coming year, because I think we're on the right track with them.
Yeah, I love that pin. I have it myself. Is stunning, and yeah, I agree. I hope we see more sort of cool takes on pins as the year comes on, and which I'm sure we will. We've seen a lot in D23s and different pin events, so fingers crossed for good pins.
And we also hope for more right-specific merch. We love right-specific merch, but we think, especially when it comes to Disneyland Paris, they're quite lacking in it. There's not an awful lot of things you can. They started coming out with the cannon statue, for example, for Space Mountain, which made actually no sense coming out with it now, because it seems like they're keeping the kind of Star Wars overlay. So then why would you sell it? So it's a little bit. I love the Star Wars overlay, so I'm not complaining. It seems a little bit of a strange decision to come out with something which is such an eyesore for a lot of people, and it's kind of like rubbing it in even more. This is how it looked like. This is what the plan was, but there's a statue of it. But the idea is great, and what I think they could be focusing on it is there's with a lot of attractions, the queue line itself is so amazingly themed, and there are so many cool things that could turn into merchandise. If you look at the Haunted Mansion, for example, all the portraits that are on the walls, they started now doing them. They're releasing the statues. So I think it would be really cool if they utilized kind of scenes from the queue lines and turn those into merchandise. And they're gonna do it because I just said it, because we realized that somehow they're listening to me. Because every single time I come up with something, an idea, a few weeks later they just announce it. We were just laughing at it because obviously they redone Studio One in Disneyland Paris, and it's now called what is it called? Premiere.
World
World
premiere.
premiere.
World premiere. And I just said it to Hannah when we were there that it would be so cool if that kind of door area would be turned into a statue. What did they do? A few weeks later, they come out with the idea. And it was not the only thing. So I'm sure that they've got devices somewhere listening.
His
So I'm
house
trying
is
to kind of
bugged.
like manifest these things. So I'm just coming out with all the ideas that I want to see, because then I know they're going to do that. But I think ride specific merch in general is really cool, and we would love to see more of those.
I'm with you on that. 'Cause I think, especially as you
100%.
mentioned Disneyland Paris, specifically Disneyland Paris,
Yeah.
I do. They are getting better. Like, we got a bit more Phantom Manor merch. We got a bit more
Yeah.
Big Thunder. I absolutely adored they did like just kind of really cool graphic design, park specific for Disneyland Paris. Like fridge magnets, and they also did like portrait pictures of all of the Disneyland Paris rides, and I thought that was a brilliant idea, and they should bring out so many people, because they only did, I think, like 6
Yeah, I
different.
got them all.
Yeah, I just love them. Like, they're in my living room. Like, my living room's just dedicated to Disneyland Paris because it's my home park. And I just think something like that, like more art specific for Disneyland Paris would be great. And more park specific things as well. Because I think Tower of Terror is one that lacks in Disneyland Paris. You often go into that store and it's generally just Stitch or Nightmare Before Christmas
Yeah.
stuff
Oh my
in the
gosh,
store.
I'm so
I
mad
don't-
about that. When I go in there and I'm like, dude, it's such a good ride. You're wasting. You can take all my money. I just want to give it to you for Tower of Terror stuff,
Yeah.
please.
I don't understand why Stitch is such a big part of like all the mansions, not all the mansion, the Tower of Terror
He's
stuff.
big,
It's everywhere.
isn't he?
I do have a theory though that, and I'm hoping I'm really wrong on this.
I hope so too, because I think I know what you're going to say.
What you're gonna say?
There's a sneaky theme that they're trying to push in Disneyland Paris with
Nah.
Tower of Terror to be Stitch,
Nah,
because
not doing it. Can't.
I will burn it down before they do that.
Don't do it.
Anybody from Disney executive, that was a joke. Jackson didn't mean that. That was a joke.
Olivia, I'll edit it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I'm with you,
No, but
Sarah.
that-
I think Tower
I
of
don't
Terror
think-
and also Pirates of the Caribbean. I feel like that shop as well. I felt it's gone downhill quite a bit. I felt
Yeah.
like the one in Walt Disney World. Like, I came back with like picture frames of the mermaids on there and everything like that. It was so themed, and I loved it. Like, I would buy all that if they just sold it there. You just pick it all up. But now you go there, it's very obviously aimed towards a lot more kids now. But I even feel like when I used to go there, we had a lot more pins there for us all. It just seems to have gone down. So those like shops are so well themed the way they look after you get off the ride. I just feel now it's just the stuff there just does not. You're just not interested. It's not the same.
I find with a lot of Disneyland Paris shops, you find the same thing in every shop.
Yeah.
I still look in every single shop though, because you sometimes find something a little bit different. Like, I found pins that haven't been in the last shop, but you walk in and it's just, oh, this is just the same thing. Like, you go to the Emporium, you go to the Pirates of the Caribbean shop, it's the same stuff. There's only like a few things that are different. And I think they need to start doing like specific merch in each shop, because it doesn't get the same feel with it when you walk out and you just, oh, it's the same stuff again and again.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's something Disneyland's good at, is they have their heavily themed shops, right? Like they even have that new Haunted Mansion, which I like a lot. But I'd agree with you, Eddie, on Pirates of the Caribbean, especially in Disneyland. They have Pieces of Eight, and it's a hard right as you get out. And it used to, like, they have like an organ built into the cash register, and it's a really neat store.
It's
but
really
then
cool.
they just sell like junk now. Like they used to sell really cool, like really well done, like heavy kind of stuff. And now it's just like plastic nonsense. Something I want to see more of the parks is patches, because I have to buy mine on Etsy, and I would like to buy, I mean, I'm fine with buying them on Etsy, but I'd really like to buy them at Disney at the park. And I've only seen like 2 ever. And I actually have this one I got in Grizzly Airfield, and it doesn't even say anything. It just says Grizzly Bear. But like, I really like that one.
Paris ones. I've got Silent Manor and Big Thunder Mountain ones. So they did used to do them, but they never.
Didn't they try and push them a while ago? Disney patched or something like that.
Yeah.
I would have liked more. Maybe now.
Yeah. I've found some on Vinted before, so maybe go on there or eBay.
I think that's one of the problems there in the Disney shops there in the parks as well, that instead it's very, very heavily aimed on smaller children. Like if you go in Disneyland Paris, as Eddie mentioned, the Pirates of the Caribbean store, if you go in there, it's basically a children's toy store. You get all sorts of plastic stuff. Like, I understand children like it, but for us, like, there's nothing really. Although they've come out with a pirate ship now, you can buy a statue, like a model of the ship, which is really cool.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'll have to find a photo of it. I'll send it to you later. But these are the kind of things I think that would keep the collectors in there as well, and the people who are interested in the parks and the park history and the archives, really. What is really cool, I think, in Disneyland Paris is that new book series that they've come up with certain specific rides.
Yeah.
That is, it shows that like you can get, I think it's 5 or 6 rides that they've done it with, and then you see like original blueprints in there. The whole entire like Imagineering process has gone through photos in it. So there's really, really nice things. But what I noticed as well is that these are potentially not selling because it's not. It seems like the target audience is not that. So you see something really, really cool being released, and a few months later it goes on sale. And a few months later, you're not finding them anywhere. And then around 2-3 years later, when people start thinking, oh, those people who were children at the time when they were released, but now they've grown up, they're like, oh, I want that. And this is when you start looking at vintage, and the price is always like high. And it's gonna get really, really expensive. So that's an interesting kind of like circle of life with merchandise.
I think
the circle of lies.
That's also a good point as well, is that I think in terms of merchandise, I've noticed now it's very like short span in terms of when they sell merch in the parks. So it's like, unless you're very, very lucky to be there on a merch drop or the month that something is landed, then you have like virtually zero time to get it. If you're only visiting the park, maybe just like once a year, for example, if you're going to Walt Disney World for a once-in-a-lifetime trip and stuff like that, you're never going to really be able to, it's not accessible. And I think that's something that I've really noticed, especially with like Disneyland Paris, is that once something goes on sale and then it gains traction and it goes viral for whatever reason, it's then exceptionally hard. The Sorcerer Mickey jacket was one. The Disneyland Hotel Castle Clock Loungefly, I think, is another new one. And I think just specific stuff like that seems to be where it becomes inaccessible, and then you have to end up getting it on eBay or get it on Vinted, and you're paying like double the price for something.
They're all over Vinted now.
Oh yeah, I've seen them, and I'm like, no, I can't pay that much for it. I refuse.
Refuse.
Yeah.
And a few months later, they just re-release everything, like with the
Yeah.
fleece. Like the Disneyland Paris is now inundated with that fleece that was viral, and everyone wanted the fleece, and it sold out in minutes. It was so hard to get, and now it's inundated, and I would imagine soon it's going to go on sale as well because
And that was
now
the
whoever
uniform
wanted
of
it, they will
Disneyland
get it.
Paris.
Yeah, it's a specific AP uniform, isn't it?
Yeah.
This dress jacket. It's so bad because like I got mine in, I think it was like October last year. Like I literally was lucky to land on that merch drop when it came out in October, and I was just like, oh, they've never done fleeces before. This is a great idea because Paris, it's cold, it's European weather. We need
Yeah.
fleeces. And so I thought it was a great idea, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it on a whim. Didn't thinking like, it'd go like extremely hard to get or anything like that afterwards. And then now you see it all the time, and now I'm like, I get the ick because I'm just like, I want to be walking around with it in the park because like it's just such a joke now.
Yeah, you just see a swarm of people wearing them now.
It is so comfortable though.
It is. It's a great.
It
It's
is
a
comfy.
And for once, it's got pockets, because that's the thing that they
Yeah.
always forget. That's what I hate sometimes in Disney jackets and bomber jackets. They don't have inside pockets.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the outside pockets are really, really shallow, so you can't really put anything in them. And that fleece is just so well constructed.
Yeah.
Something that Laszlo brought up, speaking of things that were selling out, something Laszlo brought up is integrating Magic Band technology. And this isn't exactly that, but remember the keys for the 70th anniversary?
Yes.
Those were flying off the shelves. I mean, people were running to get them because they had to collect all the pins, and they had to, you
Yeah,
have to
the
get
pins.
multiple ones or like trade around, which I think was really cool. I'm not knocking that. That was neat. But I think that was a really interesting piece of merch because I looked at it first and I was like, this is silly. And then I watched people use it and I'm like, this is awesome. And I want 7.
So fun.
Now I want all of them. Yeah. I need them all displayed. So I think that's a good example of Disney sort of catching on to what park people want and technology, right? It's kind of a mix, sort of. It kind of satisfied a bunch of different genres of fan in one. I did want to ask one more question to you all, really quick. We've noticed that there's a big, Sarah mentioned this earlier with Lego, where we're getting Lego sets that are Disney inspired, like the castle or like the Haunted Mansion, that are offered outside of the park or even just at the Lego store, right? Like you can just get Disney stuff at the mall now. And so do you guys think that is a good thing? Do you think it's good that I can just go to like Barnes and Noble and pick one of these up? I don't think you can now, but you used to be able to back in the day. Or do you think that's sort of taking away the magic of it, or what? Like, because I don't have an opinion on this. I'm just wondering.
Mm.
I think I like it being accessible for everyone. I think going to the parks is becoming quite a luxury now. Like it's not affordable for quite a lot of people. So I think having where you can get even park exclusive from time to time pop up on Disney Store UK or like, Disney specific collaborations at places like Disney Selfridges in the UK was a massive collab at Christmas, right? And they still sold some of their stuff online. So if you weren't near a Selfridges in the UK, you still could get some of that stuff. Granted, you have to kind of be really quick on stuff like that, especially on Disney Store UK with their drops. We've kind of mentioned that Disney Hunger Games. But for me, I think it's the accessibility because I love Disney Store Japan stuff and I love like a lot of their park stuff as well. So like I've started collecting their little small bags, which have like they're really cute actually because they have like a little part on the back of the bag where you can pop your like annual pass card in or your tickets. And I find that really useful with having an annual pass to Disneyland Paris is that I can pop it in there, it's safe and secure, I can whip it out quite quick because the lanyards they don't really suit me as a person. So things like that I have to rely on seeing if I can get them from elsewhere and online. So I think having the accessibility part is great. And also, I think even if you are in the park and you buy something exclusive, you've got that memory attached to it. Like, I think we've all kind of said in the first part about our favourite merch that we got, and it's usually linked to a memory. I think you're always going to have that regardless if you buy something in the park. Whereas if you can't get to the park and you want a little bit of magic at home, I like that idea of it being accessible, so I am kind of more for it than against it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I'm definitely for it being accessible everywhere, and the fact that we're seeing, like you said, a lot of like Tokyo exclusive stuff coming onto the Disney Store. You know, because not all of us are gonna get a chance to travel that side of the world and be able to see these exclusive things. So I'm for it. I mean, it opens the magic up to everybody, and that's what I think that's the thing that Disney wants to portray. It wants to make everybody have the ability to be in the magic. So yeah, you know, go to Barnes and Noble and pick up your Disney books. Go to Primark and grab your Disney pajamas. You know, go shop online and get Tokyo exclusive stuff. Go for it. It is it being so gettable now online. I think it's brilliant. Like I said, it's accessibility, and you've summed it up perfectly.
Yeah, I was just going to say I agree. And I think since it is so hard to get to parks, it's just so nice to be able to buy things like, especially like pins and stuff. It's just because those are such neat things to get, and it's so hard to go all the way and get them sometimes. So I really like that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'd
That's all I
also
was
say
gonna
I
say.
am still that person. I'm still that person that does prefer buying when I'm in a shop. That's probably why I like the parks more. I know online it's great to get, it's there, but I definitely prefer seeing it there. Probably not, you're not even looking for it and you're like, that stood out to me. Definitely prefer seeing it in a store. Sadly, they're not here
Yeah, I
anymore.
agree.
Yeah, bring
Which
back
is why I like
Not in
this
Liverpool.
shirt. Yeah, that's why I love this shirt, because I got it in Tower of Terror in the gift shop. And I was like, I have to have that. I didn't even know it existed. And I almost bought 2 of the dang things. If they weren't so expensive, I would have. Because they're just, I don't know. I like things that I can wear on a daily, that like I can wear anywhere and not have be super loud, but that is like, okay, cool. Because the back of this shirt is awesome. It's like the whole deal back there. It's super
That's
nice.
cool. That's really cool.
But the front's just really low key, and I like it for that, because I can just kind of wear it with whatever. So I think I like usable Disney merch as well.
Yeah, love that.
I partially agree with that, especially what Sarah said, that it's started to become a luxury to go to the parks. So it is nice to have access to the products. But on the other side, I don't mind it when Disney releases that, let's say there's some sort of celebrations in the park and they release something that's exclusive and it's only available for the people who are at the park. You can't buy it anywhere else. I'm not against it because that creates memory for the people who are buying it. What I've got a problem with is when they say that something is exclusive and then out of sudden, because it doesn't sell, it's going to pop up on Disney Store here and there, and you can just get access to it anywhere. And it's going to it's annoying as a collector as well, because you thought that you own something, that I'm in this elite group of people who have this certain item, and out of sudden now everyone can have it just because it didn't sell, or just because the company thought that it's marketable for all of them. For example, in the D23 Gold member spec last year, you got a book of the history of Disneyland, and it was said that you cannot get this book anywhere else. It is exclusive to D23 Gold members, etc., etc. And then a few months later, the exact same book was released, just with a different cover. But it's the same book. It's just a different cover. And I think even the difference on the cover was only that it didn't say anymore that it was exclusive to D23 members. So I don't mind it if they release anything wholesale, and it's great that everyone has access to it, but then they just need to stop saying that it's exclusive. Because I'm always laughing at it when the Disney Store drops in that it's a Disney Store Japan exclusive. We're buying it in the UK, so it's not really that exclusive to them, is it?
Yeah.
It's now a Disney Store Japan and UK exclusive.
We've made a lot of really interesting points here, because it really just depends on the kind of fan you are and what you're looking for, right? So like for me, getting this in Space Mountain, or I clowned myself, in Star Tours is the best, right? I love that I got this in Star Tours. I love that I bought it in the ride. It's my favorite thing. But like, I don't know, something like this, A, it'd be hard to get home. And B, I don't need it to be from the park to be special. But like for me, pins are one of those things. I do need them to be from the park. That can be maybe not some how some people do it, but it just really depends on what I'm getting. And so I think it's nice that I can find both. And I kind of like the mix that we have right now where we're like, okay, I can buy this online, but I really have to go to the park for this. I'll have to look forward to that on my next trip, whatever. And I think it's really neat. And I think they're actually doing a pretty good job with mixing the merchandise. There is like, I don't like that they did that book thing that's like different cover in the part. Like, I really wish some things would stay exclusive. But at the same time, I do appreciate that they're trying and that they realize that this stuff's for everybody. And so they're trying to make it available. I think that's really good.
And especially it's helpful with past releases, because what I said before, that we've got this soft rule that we have to earn the pin or the plush. For example, if we meet a character in a specific outfit because it's some sort of anniversary, we wouldn't get the plush version of it until we met the character. But once you meet the character, you want to take a piece of that character home, and you want to see it. So a lot of times we meet a character, we wouldn't consider buying something, and we meet the character, and then Hannah just knows straight away. It was like, yeah, we're going back to the gift shop. We're buying Donald in the 20th anniversary outfit in a plushie, aren't we? And I'm like, yes, exactly. But at the same time, there are some certain merch items that were released as an exclusive, but it would be really nice to have access to it. And recently, my new obsession is we've done with a few friends a Sithmas Star Wars gift exchange before Christmas, and which is a group of people that we enable each other. We are the worst, literally, because someone gets something, and out of sudden we all need to have this. And in someone's box, it was originally, I believe, released in Disneyland and in California, in Disneyland Paris as well. The classic Disney characters as Star Wars characters plushies, and someone had that in the box, and ever since then we are all literally on the hunt to get more of those, and they're really, really hard to get them, and I've just got them behind me.
Oh, that's so cool! I
wow.
didn't know what I was expecting, but that's
They
so
are
That's
sick.
super neat.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And this was an exclusive one, and it's even like a really, really old kind of park stack from it, but it would be nice that it is just nice that you have access to it. And then they started selling them on stores as well. Obviously, this one is from Vintage, but they made their way to the Disney store at the time they were released. So there are sometimes the really, really cool things that you get hold of it, and it's not necessarily for everything to be exclusive.
Even though I think as collectors we just love that exclusive label, I think it's just it has a hold on me. Like, I used to collect Funko Pops quite a lot, and every time there was an exclusive or a flocked Funko Pop, I would go crazy for it. I was like, I'm gonna go in on the hunt in HMV for this, and I'd spend so much time with it. But then it got to the point with Funkos, right, where like they were coming out with so many exclusive versions that it kind of wasn't exclusive anymore, and they'd resell them. Like they'd have like an exclusive. I think the good version of it is the Walt and the Fire Truck one that they did for 70th recently. That was an exclusive just specifically sold in Disneyland California, and then they started randomly selling it in Disneyland Paris, just randomly. And I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
That is probably something that's very specific and exclusive that I think really is something from California that I think should have been staying as that park exclusive for a while. Maybe bring it to Disney Store later on, but it was just the fact that it was just randomly cropping up in random parks that I was like, I don't think that's like a thing really to sell like for Disneyland Paris. It didn't really make sense why it was just randomly there. But yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think definitely with the exclusivity thing, it doesn't always need to be exclusive.
I got that same one from the Disney store.
Yeah.
From the website.
Yeah.
I think Funko is the worst with that, because they keep doing that they release the exact same figure, the exact same box, but they put a different exclusivity sticker on it.
Yeah. They did.
And people are actually going crazy for that. Like, I know people that own I need to have all the different stickered versions, and I'm just like, I used to collect Funko Pops until I got to the point where I've got no more space. I'm either going to stop or I'm going to sell everything. And this is what I decided, because I knew that if I have them all, I still want to buy more. So the best is just to sell everything. I kept a few of them, and a lot of people will hate me for it, but I took them all out of the box and I destroyed the boxes. So now if I get a Funko Pop, I don't care how exclusive is this. It is. It comes out of the box. Box is going away because that guarantees that I'm not going to start collecting them again. But for me, like now seeing from the other side, it's just strange. Why would you come out with something exclusive and then a few months later you change the cover of the book or you put a different kind of sticker on it? Not everything needs to be exclusive. There are some things that are cool to be exclusives, but not everything needs to be there. But I agree with the pull on it. Just put limited edition, limited release, exclusive, chase, whatever, and that's a pull that you just like, yes, I need that because it's limited edition, it's gonna sell out, and then 3 months later it's on the sales.
I just want to talk about the price of the Staff Mall Donald Duck, right? It was 130 quid on eBay.
I was very lucky. I found it on an auction. But like, if given that you quite like them, I'll show you the other one that I just got
It's
from Hannah
so
yesterday.
cool.
Yeah, they're
So
awesome.
cool.
Unfortunately, the hat doesn't fit in. Like, they should have thought that a little bit further.
That's a shame.
And I got
that's so cool.
Darth Vader Goofy.
I seen that one before on Vinted, and I was like, I favorited it, and I was like, I should have bought it.
It's not there. I don't think it's there anymore. Because sometimes the good thing about this is that people who are not collectors, they are not aware of the value of certain things. And then sometimes you bump into certain, like even Funko Pops or these plushies, and then you just see the price and you're like, I have to get this because this person clearly has no idea how much that's worth. And you don't want to wait until someone tells them.
You used to get that with Loungeflies. Now it's not. I don't think it's common anymore, but it used to be where people would buy Loungeflies for like their kids and stuff for the parks, and then they'd just be like, I'll just put it on for like £20, and then there'd be people like me that I'd see that and be like, that was a park exclusive one, I need that, and it's 20 quid, and I'll even try and bargain with them to get 2 quid off.
That's the way. That's the way.
That's the golden rule of Vinted. You always bargain.
Yes, you never go for the main offer.
No.
Yeah, ever.
I'll go ahead.
I was going to say was covered by Sara. I think with it being
Yeah.
accessible for people, I mean that's exactly that. I cannot afford to be going to all these different parks, so being able to get the merch online, like all these different things, especially the Disney Store Japan stuff. I've been loving all the bag charms, and of course the Cheshire Cat, the massive Cheshire Cat I got where his head like detaches. Being able to get that kind of merch over here is just insane, and I love being able to get it because obviously I know very well I won't be going to Japan anytime soon, so it's nice to be able to get merch like that.
So much, everybody, for showing up today. Thanks so much for this great conversation. I really appreciate everyone's research and input, and I really like that we came away with the idea of everyone being able to partake in the magic. I think that's a really big part of Disney. Even though park exclusives are neat, I think it's good that everyone can buy a shoulder pal. You know, like everyone can get that pin that we're all looking for. So, right. But next week, our topic is going to be after hours and sort of outside ticketed events, and we're really excited to tackle that subject because that is a really hot topic, and wouldn't you know it, we're here to talk about it. So we'll be here next week, and we hope to see you all then. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
See ya.